Despite winning the Europa League, Tottenham decided it was the best to sack Ange Postecoglou and have now hired Thomas Frank as their new manager. So let's give Tottenham a rebuild with Thomas Frank in charge. Thomas Frank has done wonders with Brentford in real life after keeping him up for 3 or 4 consecutive years. It will be very interesting to see what he can do with Tottenham Hotspur. And this is how the Tottenham team is looking before Thomas Frank has done anything. And we have some very exciting players such as Romero and Van de Ven as the 2 centre backs. Porro is very good. Spence is a decent player. Vicario is alright in goal. I am unsure if he will stay here for the whole rebuild, but he most likely will. We have Kulusevski, who I do believe will leave the club in real life, so I'm actually going to put him on the transfer list. Bentancur is alright. Madison is pretty solid. Richarlison, Tell and Johnson is not the ideal front three, but we have a lot of quality players on the bench as well, such as Son, Sarr, Archie Gray, Udobert, Kinski is pretty decent, Danso, Udogi, Solanke. Werner is on loan, so I'll just terminate his loan deal as well. And apart from that, yeah, Lucas Bergwall is also very solid. But I will probably make 2-3 signings in the first transfer window, as I am actually going to look to rebuild this team in a kind of a realistic Thomas Frank way. The first piece of business Thomas Frank has done as Tottenham is to sign Mathys Tel on a permanent deal from Bayern München for 28.5 million euros. While we are at it, we have also signed Kevin Danso on a permanent deal. He has joined us from Lens for 28.4 million euros. And that means Tel and Danso has both joined Tottenham on a permanent deal after they joined the club on loan in January. And we have sold a lot of players in the first transfer window. As we can see, Velis has joined Everton for 5.6 million. Josh Keeley has gone to Torino for 790k. Richarlison has moved London clubs and joined West Ham for 23.1 million. Manor Solomon has gone to France and joined Stade Rennais for 16 million. Sergio Reguilon has gone to Nottingham Forest for 5.7 million. Fraser Foster has moved to Belgium and he costed them 870k. Ben Davies has gone to Werder Bremen in Germany for 5.2 million. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has got a crazy move to Man City for 23.6 million. Brian Gill has gone to Juventus for 27.7 million. Bissouma has gone to Newcastle for 19.6 million. Dane Scarlett has gone to Sunderland for 1.6 million. Dejan Kulusevski has got himself a very weird move to Bournemouth for 61.1 million. Dragusin has gone to Belgium for 11 million. And this was an offer I really couldn't reject, as Udobert was wanted by Real Madrid, so I just accepted the bid because it was Real Madrid and he has gone there for 9.5 million. Jamie Donnelly has gone to, I do believe this is a Turkish side, for 1.6 million. Will Lancashire has gone to Sevilla for 620k. So as you can see, a lot of players has left the club. So now let's get some signings in and see if we can improve the team. Thomas Frank's first proper signing for Tottenham Hotspur, it is Jack Grealish from Man City. We needed some depth on the left wing. We of course have the club captain Heung-min Son there, but he is getting older. We sold Udobert to Real Madrid, so it was needed a left winger, and he has been linked with a move to Tottenham in real life as well. And as we can see, we signed Jack Grealish for 30 million euros. Signing number 2 is another winger. This time it is a right winger, and yes, I know he has been heavily linked with a move to Manchester United in real life, but he's also been linked to Tottenham with Thomas Frank going there. It is of course Brentford player Bryan Mbeumo, and I am actually having a little bit of a feeling that he might join Tottenham because of Thomas Frank, if they can give him what he wants, but he at least joins us in the save for 47.9 million. The third and final signing is of course a Danish player. We couldn't really go a full transfer window in the first season for Thomas Frank without signing a Dane, and it is Sporting central defensive midfielder Morten Hjulmand. And yes, I know he's got an Arsenal tattoo in real life, but we don't care about that. He is joining Tottenham Hotspur in the Thomas Frank rebuild. And this is the Tottenham Hotspur team in Thomas Frank's first season at the club. And as you can see, we have made a couple of decent improvements on the team, such as the right winger Bryan Mbeumo, central defensive midfielder Morten Hjulmand, and we also have Jack Grealish, who slots perfectly on as a super sub and an impact player on the bench. And If it were up to me, he would get a lot of game time on the left, but also as a central midfielder, as I do believe he has a lot of qualities to play there as well. But let's just go through the starting 11 with Vicario in goal. We have Pedro Porro as the right back, Udogie as the left back, Van de Ven and Romero as the two centre backs. So it is the original Tottenham defense, and I can see that they will stick here for the whole rebuild unless I get some very interesting bids that will manage to take one of them away, such as for example Real Madrid for Romero and Pedro Porro. Van de Ven may be one of the biggest clubs outside of England, such as Bayern München for example, if they are interested. Juventus for Udogie maybe. I'm a bit unsure. We will just have to see if any bids come in for those. But Yilman is our new central defensive midfielder. He finally gets a move to one of the biggest leagues in the world. Bentancur is maybe on the weaker side, 81 rated and 27 years old. I have changed his position to a central midfielder, so it will be interesting to see if he can grow because of that. James Maddison is the second central midfielder. Son on the left has already started to go down in his rating. Mbeumo on the right and Solanke up top. Hopefully he can have a good season and grow. And if not, I know which striker I will sign. We also have a couple of good players, or a lot of good players on the bench, such as Spence, Danso, Phillips is a big talent, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall and Pape Sarr. 3 very good, very talented and young midfielders. Jack Grealish, Brennan Johnson and Tell as well. So all in all, a very solid and good looking team. It will be interesting to see how we will do it. I have done so we have Champions League football in the first season. Can we have a solid campaign there? And the main goal is to just qualify back for Champions League. Come on and let's see where we end in season number 1 for Thomas Frank. And we can see we have lost a final in the first season, and I know which final it is, and we reached the Champions League final. But I thought it would be way too easy if we played that final ourselves in just one season. If we would have won it, I would have continued either way, but I didn't feel like it was the time to play it right now, as I want to do more of a rebuild with this Tottenham team than just sign a couple of players and be here for just one season with Thomas Frank. But it was the Champions League final that we lost, but as we lost the final, we of course can't have a look at the tables right now because of a lovely FC25 glitch. So we just have to go through the squad and stats first, but let's just take a quick look at the starting 11. Son is still 85 rated. Solanke has definitely had an injury as he has gone down a rating, and Tell is now up to 80 rated. Mbeumo has gone up to 85, which is great to see. Bentancur has gone up 1 rating. Maddison has stayed the same. Yulman has gone up 3 ratings. Udogie has gone up 4. Van de Ven has got an injury, which is not ideal. Romero up to 85. Pedro Porro also up to 85. And Vicario is 86. Danso has also grown pretty well, is now up to 83. And Johnson 81 and Tell up to 80. And we will lose Alfie Whiteman on a free, as I didn't feel like it was any need to give him a new deal, as he's like the fourth choice goalkeeper, so there was no need for us to give him a new deal. And it's safe to say it's been a season for both of our wingers. Young-min Son, despite being 32, has scored 45 goals and got 11 assists. Brian Mbeumo, 37 goals and 21 assists in his first campaign as a Tottenham player is just outrageous. James Maddison also had a solid season, getting 13 goals and 13 assists. Jack Grealish getting a lot of game time with 10 goals and 3 assists. And we can see Solanke, he has had a very bad injury as he's just played 17 games. He scored 6 goals and got 1 assist in those. Udogie 7 goal contributions from left back. And Tell just scored 3 goals in 44 games. That is just absolutely horrendous for a striker. So we can see that we need a new striker, with one having gone down in rating due to his injury and one just scoring 3 goals in 45 games. A new striker will definitely be signed in the next season. Archie Gray, I would have liked to see him and Bergvall both getting more game time, but unfortunately that's how FC25 career mode works. And apart from that, it's nothing to really take a look at, but a brilliant season by our captain Heung-min Son and also Brian Mbeumo. We did not finish inside the top 4, which means that we will get Europa League football next season, as I don't think the Premier League table has the top 5 teams in it that will qualify for the Champions League. I do believe it's just the top 4, which is a real shame. As we know, we went to the Champions League final, the FA Cup. We thankfully won that by beating Wolves 4-0, so we have at least won some sort of silverware in Thomas Frank's first season as the Tottenham manager. The Carabao Cup was won by Aston Villa, but let's just take a quick look at our journey in the FA Cup first. We were up against Preston in the third round, beating them 2-1. Then we won against Sheffield Wednesday. Then we have Harrogate Town. And in the 6th round, we had a London derby against West Ham. And in the semi-final, we beat Chelsea. So not the most difficult of runs, but a fair, pretty alright run until the semi-finals, where we came up against Chelsea. But the Carabao Cup was, of course, won by Aston Villa. The Champions League was won by Barcelona, beating us 1-0. And we can see we went unbeaten in the league phase. In the round of 16, we won against AC Milan 3-2. The quarterfinals, we knocked out LOSC Lille 4-1. And the semi-finals, we won against Inter 4-2, but unfortunately lost 1-0 to Barcelona in the final. Dominic Solanke has left the club, as we want to bring in a new striker, and he had a poor season last season in terms of injuries, so unfortunately the transfer hasn't worked as Tottenham were hoping for in real life. Solanke has left us to go to another London team in Crystal Palace for 20.4 million. Our new striker, it is a player that will leave his club in real life for free. He has been linked with multiple Premier League clubs, including Tottenham Hotspur. It is, of course, Canadian striker Jonathan David. We, however, did not get him for free. We had to pay 64.1 million for the Canadian striker. Thankfully, we did not receive any offers for our star players that made us forced to sell any of them, so our team are exactly the same, just with a new striker up top in Jonathan David. He is 25 years old and 84 rated. We had a big striker crisis last season, with Tell being the main one, as Solanke had a bad injury and barely played. Tell, however, scored just 3 goals, I do believe it was, in 44 appearances, so hopefully David can have a much better impact than the young French striker. Apart from that, the team looks exactly the same. Bentancur will probably have his last season here until we look to replace him. Hopefully the defense can grow, and hopefully we don't get any bids for them next summer either. I don't think we have Champions League football. I do believe it is Europa League. Let's just have a quick look at that. Is it Champions League or is it Europa League? It is Europa League. So hopefully we can maybe win that with Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank's second season at Tottenham Hotspur has once again ended with Tottenham finishing 5th. We were much closer to the top 4 this time, with just 4 points compared to last season. I do believe it was around 10. So we have improved in that aspect. However, we are yet to qualify for the Champions League, unless we remove the first season, where we, of course, were in the Champions League, as Tottenham won the Europa League in real life. But it's a shame. So another season in the Europa League it will be, with Man City winning the Premier League. The Community Shield, we won that, beating Man City 5-4 on penalties. The FA Cup was won by Man City, so they have won the double. We have won the Carabao Cup, so another season where we have won a trophy. In the first season, we won the FA Cup. In the second season, we have won the Carabao Cup, which is good. The UEFA Super Cup, I don't know why I clicked on that, because we were, of course, not in it. Barcelona won it. The Champions League was won by Juventus, and how far did we come in the Europa League? Chelsea won it, beating Lazio 3-2. We went to the round of 16, where we won against Twente, but we lost to Chelsea in the quarterfinals 5-4. Despite being 33 years old, Heung-min Son has actually gone up by rating and is now 86 rated, which is lovely to see. David up to 86 as well. Mbeumo up to 88. He's now our highest rated player in the team. I was hoping to see some more growth from Van de Ven, Romero, Porro and Udogie. But yeah, I don't really mind. The team has grown pretty alright. Danso up to 84, Bergwall 81, Sar 84, Grealish 82, Tell 81, but looks like he hasn't played anything really on his sharpness, and he also is unhappy. So yeah, the team has grown pretty alright, and I am actually not using development plans in this, or I am actually doing that. Never mind, I thought I didn't, because we have seen so poor growth, but as you can see, everyone in our defense have 5-star skills, so I am definitely using some development plans on at least some of our players, but I forgot to do it on Yulman, I do believe on David as well, so I will do that going into season number 3. Mbeumo had another very good season, scoring 33 goals, being our top scorer while also getting 8 assists. David, 28 goals, 5 assists in his debut campaign as a Tottenham player is also alright. Youngmin Son, 23 goals, 13 assists, which is very good. He's now 33 years old and is still going up in ratings. He will go down in 13 weeks. But hopefully he can have another good season and maybe stay at 85-84 rating. Yulman, 20 goal contributions from DM is very, very good as well. And apart from that, nothing to really take a look at. But we will find a new central midfielder for Bentancur. And of course, if any of our star players get any bits I can't reject due to the clubs being like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, I will also have to find some replacement for them. But Cristian Romero has actually lost his starting place to Kevin Danso, which is very, very interesting. Rodrigo Bentancur has left Tottenham after being here for a lot of years, and he has returned back to Italy and the Serie A with joining Roma for 43.3 million. So let's find a Bentancur replacement. The replacement is another Danish midfielder. It isn't enough with just one with Yulman in there. We also needed a Danish central midfielder. He has played for Brighton in real life. I do believe it was their resigning from. Yes, it was for 67.2 million. Matt O'Reilly has joined Tottenham Hotspur and joined Thomas Frank's team by being sold by Brighton. Unfortunately, Jonathan David has already left the club, and that is because PSG came calling for our Canadian striker who joined us last summer and scored, I do believe it was 28 goals. So it is a shame to already be having to sell him. However, yes, as PSG came knocking with 132 million, I do believe the right thing was to sell Jonathan David. So we have to find a new striker once again. He is back at the club, and I do feel like when everyone are rebuilding Tottenham, they are signing this striker once in the rebuild, and we are doing the same. Harry Kane has returned to Tottenham Hotspur from Bayern Munich after spending a couple of years there, winning a couple of league titles and everything. But he's back at the club replacing Jonathan David, and he costed us a fair amount considering he's 33, 73.4 million for a 33-year-old, maybe over the top, but at least we got a quality striker back in the team. So going into season number 3, this is the Tottenham team, and I got to say it's starting to look like a team that should be able to fight for the titles with players all apart from one being over the rating of 85. So we have to start now qualifying for Champions League and winning the biggest trophies, not only the FA Cups and League Cups, but we have Vicario in net, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie, the same back 5 that has been there in real life this season. The midfield is Madison and Yulman, and of course Matt O'Reilly, our new signing, 25 years old, 84 rated. Mbeumo is on the right now, up to 88, Son still 86, and Harry Kane 88. He is 33 years old, so hopefully he won't go too much down in rating, but hopefully he can score a lot of goals and maybe help Tottenham win the first Premier League title ever. As we can see in season number 3, Tottenham have won the Premier League by beating Man City to the title with one single points. We got 91 points, which is very, very, very good in the Premier League. And can we see if we won any other trophies? Portsmouth won the FA Cup, the League Cup was won by Arsenal, and the Champions League was won by Atletico Madrid. Did we win the Europa League? We did not. We lost to the final to Napoli, but I'm actually very happy that we won the Premier League. I am sure we are good enough now to win the Champions League as well, unless Son and Kane has gone too much down in rating, which I don't really believe they have. I would like to think they have sticked very close to the rating. Yeah, Kane still 88, and Son has actually gone up another rating to 87, Mbeumo up to 90 as well. Our defense looking pretty solid. Romero isn't growing as I was hoping, unfortunately, but still 86, which is more than good enough. Vicario up to 89. O'Reilly up to 86, Madison 87, Hjulman 88, and we also have a very good looking bench with Sar 85, Grealish 83, Gray 81, Bergvall 82, Spence 81, Danso 84, and Johnson and Tell 81 and 82 rated as well. And Brian Mbeumo once again being our top goal scorer, scoring 34 goals, getting 6 assists from the right wing. It is very good. Harry Kane scoring 31 goals and getting 6 assists is very solid in his first season back at Tottenham Hotspur. Heung-min Son 27 goals, 10 assists despite being 34, which is very impressive. Madison 21 goal contributions, Udogie 7. Matt O'Reilly getting 13 goal contributions in his debut campaign at Tottenham. And I misclicked there, unfortunately. How many clean sheets did we keep? We kept 16, which isn't really too good, but it's not too bad either. But Vicario managed to get 3 assists, which is very good to be a goalkeeper. We are just going to stick with the exact same team in season number 4. Our players are now not available to be sold as we are the Premier League champions. So Romero, Van de Ven, Porro, and no matter who comes in for them, they will stay at the club, and I am very happy with the starting 11 as well. So there are no need to make any upgrades to the starting 11 or the bench players, as we have a very good second team as well, if we can call it that. But yeah, we will just keep the same players. Kane, hopefully he will just stick at 88, maybe even go up to 89. Son, he will probably start to go down in his rating now that he is 34, but I don't think he will drop too much. Hopefully we can maybe win back-to-back Premier League titles, but the goal now is to win the Champions League. As we can see, Tottenham are finally into another Champions League final after we lost it in season number 1. And I said I wanted to play a final, however I am just going to simulate it, because the goal is just to win it and hopefully we can beat Barcelona. It was them who won against us in season number 1, but let's go through the other competitions first. The Premier League, we unfortunately didn't win back-to-back titles. We lost it by 1 point this time after winning it with 1 point last season, but we had a 16-point drop-off actually in the league, getting 12 draws, which is just way too many. So unfortunately we didn't manage to keep hold on the Premier League title. The Community Shield, however, we won against Portsmouth as we should. The FA Cup, we also won that, so we have won 2 trophies, beating Newcastle in the final 2-0. The Carabao Cup, we also won that, so we have won 3 trophies, the Community Shield, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and maybe even the Champions League. We won the Carabao Cup by beating Liverpool 2-1 in the final, which is very good, and the Champions League final are of course against us and Barcelona. We won the league phase, with getting 7 wins and just 1 loss. In the round of 16, we won 3-0 against AC Milan. In the quarterfinals, we were up against another Italian team in Napoli, who we won 4-2 against. The semifinals, we won 3-2 against PSG, and Barcelona are our opponents in the final. And Harry Kane has had an incredible season, 44 goals and 6 assists, but Brian Mbeumo 39 goals, 7 assists from right wing is just phenomenal. Son has unfortunately had a big drop-off, but still got 23 goal contributions, which is alright. Hjulman 9 goals, 7 assists. Matt O'Reilly 8 goals, 9 assists. Porro 8 goal contributions. Madison 15. Van de Ven scoring 4 goals from centre-back. And apart from that, it's nothing to take a look at. How many clean sheets did we keep this time around? We kept 15. And Vicario got 2 assists. So we know how to get assists, with getting 3 assists last season and 2 this season. What a goalkeeper we have. Not only saving shots, but also creating goals like it's nothing. And this is of course our team, and as we can see, Vicario is 90 rated, Pedro Porro is 89. Romero hasn't grown as I was hoping for, but he's still 86 rated, which is fine. Van de Ven is up to 90 rated. Udogie has grown up to 89 rated left back. Hjulman 89 rated, with Madison 88 and Matt O'Reilly also 89, so the Danish duo in the middle have grown very nicely. Mbeumo on the right 91 rated, Son on the left still 87, and Harry Kane up top still 88, despite Son being 35 and Harry Kane being 34 years old. On the bench, we have Jed Spence, who is 82, Kevin Danso is 85, Phillips is 76, Gray 81, Bergvall 82, Sarr 85, Jack Grealish 32 years old but still 81 rated, which is good. Brennan Johnson is 27 years old, so he's should have grown more really, but he has probably not got a lot of game time, but he's 82 rated, and Matthias Tell is also 82. So let's get into the Champions League final against Barcelona and hopefully beat them. And let's see if we can beat Barcelona in the Champions League final. They, of course, won against us in season number 1. Can we take a sweet revenge against Barcelona in the Champions League final? And we can do. We won 2-1, and Tottenham are the champions of Europe. And as we can see, Harry Kane scored in the 41st minute. Then Fernandes scored for Barcelona in the 57th. But then Harry Kane, who else than one of the greatest strikers ever to score a brace in the final despite being 34 years old. He scored the winner in the 78th minute that sees Tottenham become the champions of Europe. And what a season it has been at Tottenham Hotspur, and what a rebuild it's been for Thomas Frank. We have won everything throughout this save. We have won the Premier League, we won multiple FA Cups, multiple League Cups. We also have won the Champions League, and as we can see, Thomas Frank is over the moon. But I hope you enjoyed the Thomas Frank rebuild. Let me know who you want me to rebuild next. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time.